Very good morning. Again, I am welcome in our workshop. Today, our speaker, Mr. Ram Bansal. Mr. Ram Bansal, sir, currently working as an assistant professor in mechanical engineering department at Medicaps University, Indore, India. He has done MTech in automobile engineering from Rustomjee Institute of Technology, Tekkanpur, MP, in 2013. Being mechanical engineering from MP City, Gwalior in 2011. His area of research are vehicle dynamics, engines, designs of various vehicle components, transmission system, and electrical vehicles. He has published 22 papers in UGC or Web of Science and other indexed journals. He has presented his research work in 8 different international conferences in India. He was organized an industrial training program on basics of electrical vehicles and its component in Medicaps University Indore in 2020. Also, he get the Best Faculty Award for Excellence Performance. He get Excellence Award in Surgeon 2017 for subject Automotive Engineering taught during session 2015 and 2016. He get recognition for impassable creative thinker for devising the best innovative ideas in the teaching, learning, pedagogy to bring a transformation change in the society in 2020. He has membership of Society of Automotive Engineers. He has successfully completed 18 courses on Coursera platform with excellent grade. He has 7 years of academic experience and he has a various projects in the fields of automobile engineering is done by the students. So I invite Professor Ram Bansal for today's presentation.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all. Thank you for a nice introduction, sir. I'm just sharing my screen. Sir, screen is visual?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, good morning to all. Today's current scenario is moving towards electric vehicles. We all are moving, whole world is moving towards electric vehicle from IC engine vehicle to electric vehicle or hybrid vehicle. For this, there are several reasons like fuel crisis, environmental pollutions. These are the main concerns. Due to this, we are moving or towards the electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles. So today we will discuss about some different parameters of electric vehicles and what are the aspects of it and what will the future goals set by the countries or world towards the electric vehicle. Okay. So first of all, you can see on your screen, there are 2 images. Left hand side, there is a IC engine vehicle and right hand side, there is an electric vehicle. So with the help of these images, you can analyze, you can see in IC engine vehicle, there are several components. Means that is very compact things like that. Means lot of components are assembled with each other to make proper working of the vehicle. Means approximate 2000 plus moving parts are here in IC engine vehicles. Or if you can see a figure of a electric vehicle, you can see there is a less components as compared to IC engine vehicles. Approximate only 18 parts or moving parts is there. Means motor, wheels, transmission if required, propellers are if required, if we arrangement like that. So less moving parts is there. Due to this, the maintenance is cheap in electric vehicle. Energy losses, different types of energy like friction loss, thermal loss, these losses are less as compared to IC engine vehicles. Environmental will save due to the air pollution, like air pollutions. No harmful gases are produced from electric vehicles. because there is no burning of any fossil fuel in that. So these are the main advantages of the electric vehicles. Due to these, we are moving towards the hybrid or electric vehicles. So first of all, we have to analyze what kind of emissions are generated through the fossil fuel vehicles or conventional vehicles or IC engine vehicles. So I have a image diagram, so by which we can analyze easily from well to wheel how much amount of pollution is generated and how much amount of energy is losses. So first of all, you can see if we extract the crude oil from the wells, then there is some energy required to extraction of the crude oil. After that, this crude oil is transferred to the refineries. That crude oil is refined in different petroleum products. After that, petroleum or diesel or petrol which we are using, that is transferred to the filling stations, fuel filling stations. After that, we will fill our vehicle and run the vehicle. So every step we have generated emissions, air pollution. Means for extraction of the crude oil, we have using some machines. Due to this, some emission is generated. After that, in refinery also some emission is generated. After that, when fill in the when run the vehicle, then also emission is pollution is generated. Okay, as well as intermediate range when which require the transmission of the fuel from one step to second step. Also, there are some pollution is generated. Okay, so lot of pollution is generated in case of conventional fossil fuel vehicles. If we're talking about electric charge vehicles, if we generated electricity from the thermal power plants like that, then also some emission is generated, but comparatively less. Okay, if we generate the electricity from thermal power plants, okay, then emission, pollution is generated at that thermal power generation system only. Okay, after that the transmission is there. Hello.
Sorry, sir. Ram, sir, your video is not visible, sir.
Okay. So, if we're talking about the electric vehicles, which is generated, the power is generated from the thermal power plants. Then only thermal power plant is generated some pollution. After that, there is no any air pollution in there. So we can easily analyze or compare how much amount of pollution is generated in case of fossil fuel vehicles. Okay, so you can see in this chart energy losses. How much amount of energy losses in case of different conditions. Means from well to from vehicle, we can see that 30% energy is lost or 30% is efficient. System is 30% efficient only. Okay. If we're talking about the fossil fuels, then there is 83% efficient. Means overall of this we can see the efficiency of the electric vehicle. Overall electric vehicle, if we can say, that is 24% efficient, and if we're talking about the fossil fuel vehicles, it is only 16% efficient. Means we can save the energy if we're using the electric vehicles also. Okay, so if we compare the CO2 emissions for fossil fuel vehicle or electric vehicles, okay, so with the help of this chart, you can see if we use fossil fuel vehicles, then carbon emission means CO2 emission is approximate 11,000 IBS, NOx 6.5 IBS, and other gases or something that is 0.4 IBS approximately. Okay, if we use electric vehicle and generate the electricity from the thermal power plants, okay, then there is emission rate is less as compared to fossil fuel vehicles. You can see here the carbon emission is approximate 4,000, NOx 2.3 IBS, and other gases 0.4 IBS. Okay, so or if we talking about the electricity generation from wind energy, solar energy, okay, then it is comes in the category of total zero emission, zero pollution. Means we can say green energy or green vehicle. Okay, there is no any carbon CO2 generation, there is no any NOx generation. So we can easily analyze how much amount of air pollution we are generating nowadays with using of fossil fuel vehicles. Okay, due to this, we are moving towards the electric vehicles. Now, see, we can some analyze the history of the vehicles from 1832 to 1880. There is the development of the vehicles. Electric vehicles are going on. That Robert Anderson and Thomas Parker are developed the electric vehicle initially. They are developed some model and test that at that time. After that, in 1989, fleet taxis introduced into both Paris and New York for electric vehicles. After that, in 1898 to 1901, Friedland Porsche, that is manufacture of first hybrid electric car. After that, in 1907, Detroit Electric debuts in US. After that, 1908, mass production of that is the Ford T4 model of T4 for the EVs, electric vehicles, comes in the market. Now, in 1935, the electric vehicle is disappeared from the market due to the low speed or some other reasons is there, because the internal combustion engine is boom on that time, because the high speed is they get the high speed as well as some other parameters. There is no prices of fuels, so electric vehicle is disappear from the market at the time. And nowadays we can see we are moving towards the electric vehicle from 1991 to till date. Different companies are comes in the market and generate or manufacture the electric vehicles. And nowadays the research is going on to how to save the energy, how to power backup give to the electric vehicles also. So we can see the sales of the electric vehicles. That data, this data is for the 2018 and 19. Okay, so you can see in 2018-19, the Norway is the top country that is approximately sales 49.1% in and approximate to 55.9% in 2019. Okay, and if we're talking about the number of vehicles, then China is the top country in selling of electric vehicle in 2018. So you can see approximate 1,053 vehicles are sold by the China. After that, US and Norway. Okay. So these are the topmost countries which are selling the electric vehicles. If we're talking about the India, that is approximately 3.6 million cars sold in 2018 and 19. That is approximately 0.1% only as compared to all over the world. This is data for 2020, December 2020, but we can see here that China is the topmost company to selling the electric cars again. That after that, Europe, United States, California, Germany, Norway, France, United Kingdom, Japan, Netherlands, Sweden. So these are the top countries which are more sales in the electric vehicle regions. Now the sale of electric vehicle in India. If we're talking about India particularly, then how much sale is there? If we're talking about, you can see here a comparative chart of 1819 and 1718. So for two-wheelers, you can see here the number of the how many number of the electric vehicles are sold in India: two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and four-wheeler. And our goal is set by the government of India something by 2030. We have to convert our general vehicles into electric vehicles or replace the conventional vehicle to the electric vehicles by 2030. That is a goal of our government. But you can see what happened, what we will achieve it or not. And you can see the process chart. That is the lithium-ion battery prices. Because the energy storage is the main concern in the electric vehicle. So today's research is going on the storage, but energy storage is like batteries. So there are different types of batteries is available in the market to store the energy, or using different companies are also using the different types of batteries. There we will discuss again in next slide. So if we're talking about in next 20 years, the China's sales of the electric vehicles in 2015, 2030, 2049, after that. So you can see that is 1% approximate, okay, in China. In 2030, that is 15%. After 2040, it approximates 40%, and after that 2040, that is approximate 57%. Okay, so these bar graphs are shows the condition of the world selling in electric vehicles. Okay, so we can say in China, Europe, West Europe, US, India, Japan, the selling of the that is the estimations. Okay. Now, India's goals for electrification. I was told the government of India that is also very curious about the electric vehicles. So, policies given by the government of India, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, that is 2020, envision sales of 6 million electric vehicles in a year. One scheme is also there, FAME, Faster Adoption and Manufacturing of Hybrid and Electric Vehicles, that is governed by the NITI Aayog. It is also give some subsidy to purchasing the electric vehicles, as well as if we want to start up in this field, then government is also give some subsidy as well as fund for the starting of the type of something like plants. Okay. Now EESL, Energy Efficiency Service Limited, has floated tenders for four-wheeler electric vehicles and produce 10,000 vehicles from Tata Motors and Mahindra. First generation public electric vehicle charger standard set means we have some standards are already set by the government of India for the charging stations, and also some sectors like public means commercial sectors like Uber, Ola, Glib, Author. These public sectors means these commercial sectors are also of the electric vehicles for this purpose. Now, FAME scheme has four focuses area. Means has focused on four areas like technology development, demand, pilot projects, and charging infrastructure. Technology development means we have motors, we have chargers, we have controllers, but we require energy storage, means batteries, efficient batteries, means which are charged in minimum time and give the maximum energy output. So the research is going on in that field. Demand creation, we have to, for the demand creation, we have to motivate the public, or we can say generation, to move on the electric vehicles. We have to require some pilot projects to run the pilot projects, testing of the vehicles also. And most important thing is charging infrastructure, to develop the charging infrastructure in all over the country. Okay. Now, Niti Aayog is give some data like India can save 64% anticipated road based on mobility related energy demand and 37% of carbon emission in 2030 by purchasing electric vehicles or connectivity mobility, resulting in net saving of roughly 3 lakh crore rupees, approximately $60 billion in 2030. Okay, these are the goals set by the Niti Aayog. If we can say this graph, you can see here the energy requirement with the by the years. So you can see the energy consumption in passenger transport. So if we use the electric vehicles in transformative purpose, we can see we can reduce the energy requirement up to 64%. So we can save the energy up to 64%. As well as we can see the emission or pollution, CO2 pollution. We can save the pollution, or we can decrease the pollution up to 37% if we use the transformative vehicles. If we can sharing the vehicles, we can use the public transport vehicles, and in place of on cars or business purpose cars, vehicles like that. And FAME India scheme phase 2. The Niti Aayog gave the FAME scheme. That scheme comes in 2 phases. First phase is completed by 1st April 2019, and now second phase is going on. Okay. This second phase is based on 3 broad verticals. First is demand incentive based on battery energy concern. Second, charging infrastructure. And third, information, education, and communication. Means we have to inform or educate the people about the electric vehicles, about this field, and aware them why we use these electric vehicles and how we can develop the different requirements. Like we have to generate the charging station all over the country, and we have to increase the battery. We have to increase the efficiency of the battery. Okay, so these are the main three verticals in which we have to do work. Now, demand incentives, details, and distribution. So you can see in this table, different segments of the vehicle is given here. Maximum number of vehicles to be supported. Approximate battery sizing is required. How approximate sizing kitna chahiye required is that. Approximate incentives about 10,000 kilowatt hours for all vehicles and 20,000 kilowatt hours for buses and trucks. Maximum expected prices to avail the incentives and total fund support. This is the basic data given by the government. And now we can talk about the startups. So we can see there are several startups comes in the market in present today's scenario under the banner of Make in India, Startup India, Skill India, Digital India. Okay, these are some, and Niti Aayog is funded for the startups to the people who want to start their own business in this field. So you can see some 5 representative startups of electric motorcycles. Means you can see Tork Motorcycles, that owner is Kapil Selke, Revolt, Interpop, Influx Motors, Arthur Energy, Ultraviolet Automobiles. These are the 5 topmost startups. After that, more and more startups comes in the market present day. So you can see motorcycle that is Tork. That price approximate 1.25 lakh expected price, and that is specification is 27 Newton meter peak torque, 100 km per hour range, that is 100 km in a charge. Charging battery is 80% takes in an hour. Okay, or full charge takes to 2 hours. Similarly, that is Revolt. Approximate costing is 1 lakh. Okay, range is 156 kilometer, top speed 85 kilometer per hour, and like that similarly some Arthur, and that is Tork. These are the 4 topmost two-wheelers, electric two-wheelers. After that, some more companies are there which are manufacture the electric vehicles. Now, the category of the electric vehicles in India. So, different types of electric vehicles are there: 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler, buses. Okay. So, we can see here the different categories of the electric vehicles, which is uses at different applications. We can use, you have seen this type of vehicle at hospitals, airports. We can use it. Railway stations also, in today's we are using it. So electric vehicles, these all types of electric vehicles comes in market and we are using it. Now the expectations from electric vehicles. So there are some norms are set by the Government of India or AIS. These some norms are there. AIS not 39 Revolution Fund, AIS not 040 Revolution 1, means AIS 039 Revolution 1 is for measurement of electric energy consumption, and AIS 040 revolution 1, that is for method of measuring the range or kilometer. AIS 041 revolution 1, that is for measurement of net power and maximum 30-minute power. So by which in these parameters we can check our vehicle which we are going to manufacture. We have to manufacture our vehicle or design our vehicle within these parameters. Now various types of electric vehicles are there, like battery electric vehicle, hybrid electric vehicle, plug-in hybrid, and fuel cell electric vehicles. Okay. Battery electric vehicle, in which we are using the battery as a power source, and electric motor is drawn the electric power from the battery and run the wheels of, or we can propel our vehicle with the help of battery and motor only. Okay. Now, we'll be talking about hybrid vehicle, in which we are using IC engine as well as electric motor to propel the vehicle, to propulsion of the vehicle. Okay. In which we are using fossil fuel to propel to run the IC engine, as well as electric motor for generate the energy. Okay. Or battery source we are using. So if we're talking about the battery source, then we have required large capacity battery in battery electric vehicle. We require less capacity battery as compared to battery electric vehicle in hybrid electric vehicles. Okay. So next is the plug-in hybrid and fuel cell electric vehicle. Fuel cell electric vehicle, we are using the fuel cell in that, and plug-in hybrid, in which we are regenerate the electricity with the help of regenerative braking system or some other system, by which we can produce the electricity and charge the battery regularly. Now, battery electric vehicles. So a simple layout of battery electric vehicles, as you can see here. Battery is there. Battery is connected to the AC/DC inverter. A controller is used to control all the processes. That is, there is a electric motor and a gearbox to maintain the speed or to change the speed. Okay. So simple layout is there. Okay. So with the as per the California Air Resource Board, launched the zero emission vehicle in the market in 1990. Okay. That norms is given by California. After that, battery electric vehicle, you can see here, several components are there. Means BMS, means battery management system, battery pack for traction of the vehicle, motor, traction motor, propulsion motor, and inverter, in which converter, AC, DC converter, AC converter, which type of converter we are required, we can use. Okay. So several the simple layout of the components is showing here. Battery management system is using to maintain the several functions, or we can say the state of charge condition, temperature monitoring, cell balancing in the battery, that by which the battery is functioning efficiently to maintain the temperature of it, because due to the chemical reaction in the battery, the temperature is rising. To maintain the temperature, we are using the battery management system to maintain the temperature of this system. State of charge here, that is regularly checked by the battery management system, and cell balancing. Okay. Traction motor, we are using different types of traction motors. We will discuss in next slide. Different types of traction motors we are using in the electric vehicles also, and AC/DC converter. Okay. So key components of the electric vehicle. What are the key components of electric vehicle? That is battery source, electronics, controllers, and electric machines. Okay. These are the three main key components. Okay. So these are the controllers, cells, and some. So battery is required for the energy storage. Okay. And controllers to control the whole processes in the system, electric system. And electric machines means motors are required to propel the vehicles. Now, degree of hybridization. You can see the level of hybridization, that is micro, mild, medium, full power, and plug-in. Okay. We are divided in 5 steps, so 5 categories. Micro hybrid, mild hybrid, medium hybrid, full power hybrid, and plug-in hybrid. Micro hybrid, in which only automatic engine stop and go condition is given here. Mild hybrid, brake energy or regenerative braking system is given into the vehicle. Medium hybrid, that is integrated with motor assist. After that, full power hybrid, pure electric vehicle. Okay. Now, plug-in hybrid, in which power charge from the grid, or we can also supply the power to the grid as well if we generate the more power from the vehicle. It is depends upon the condition, not necessary at that. Okay. So the basic degree of hybridization is micro, mild, medium, full power, and plug-in. Okay. If we're talking about the energy rate, so low voltage operation is up to the medium, and high voltage operation up to the plug-in, from medium to plug-in. That is approximate 100 to 500 voltage DC voltage. Okay. If we're talking about the energy requirement, that is, if we're talking about micro, that is 2 to 3 kilowatt, and mild 10 to 15 kilowatt, medium to plug-in maximum more than 15 kilowatt is required. Okay. Now move on the product development model. So you can see most of the developers or manufacturers are use this V model to manufacture or design the electric vehicle. So for the development or designing of the electric vehicle, we have to, first of all, we have to system validation. For system validation, we have requirement and specification. Means what are the requirements and what specifications to fulfill that requirements, which is designed by the designer. Okay. Next step is early and reliability verification. That is system fundamental and architecture design. Depends upon the system level fundamentals and architecture design. After that, components integration and validation verification. That is subsystem design, in which mechanical system, electrical system, electrical software, something. These all things comes in that category. After that, detailed design on optimization. So we are using this V model to develop the electric vehicle in present condition. Now that is most important thing, to dynamic analysis of the vehicle. For design of an electric vehicle, we have to analyze the different forces acting on it. This is a very broad topic. It will take more than 3 and 4 hours to discuss on it, how to design or analyze the dynamics of the vehicle. Simple equations or simple way I can explain here only. So you can see a diagram here. Truck semi-trailer is there, seen here, which is moving on the uphill on the gradient of I angle, that is weight W mg towards the ground, and driving force is acting in forward direction, air resistance is opposite to the direction, rolling resistance opposite to the direction, and traction force in forward direction. So different forces are acting on it: air resistance, traction force, rolling resistance, weight, driving force, accelerating resistance. Means these type of some forces are acting on it. We have uh, assumed that all the forces. After that, we have to generate the equation with the simple mechanics. Okay, and we have to take moments. We have to balance the force, horizontal forces, vertical forces, and moments, by which we can generate the equation and solve that equation. We can get the values of forces, how much amount of force is acting on that. Okay, so based on the that analysis, we can check, we can analyze how much amount of power, how much amount of torque is required, by which we can uh, set the battery pack, how much amount of energy capacity battery pack is required for particular vehicle. So, and what is the rating of the motor? What are the specifications of the motor which are we have to use for particular load condition or particular vehicle? So these all things we can check with the help of this dynamic analysis. So dynamic analysis is most important for all kind of vehicles. Now motors in electric vehicles. So different types of motors are using in electric vehicles, like traction motors for propulsive vehicle, auxiliary motors for power steering, brakes, air compressor, cabin air conditioner, air conditioning system, battery thermal systems, and power electronics cooling systems. So these are the auxiliary motors are using. Traction motor are used for the propulsion of the vehicle, and body in body shape, wipers, power window. These all motors are we are using in electric vehicles. Okay. Now, simple layout of the electric motors. You can see here the how the electric motor is controlled or transmit the power to the load. Okay, so there is a battery DC voltage source and a controller which is connected to the controller. There is a power module. Power module is transferred to the energy, or we can say that is the BMS system. Okay, now it is connected to the motor. The motor is connected to the power module or controller. Okay, and after that motor is transferred to the power to the load. Okay, with the help of mechanical connection. Okay, that is there is some belt drive or some gear drive we can provide. So with the help of any mechanical connection, the motor is transferred to power to the load. Okay. Now the DC connector, DC voltage source, or battery management system, all these things are connected electrically with the help of electrical connections. Okay. Controller is give the signal to the BMS, and then BMS is give the signal to the motor as well as feedback to the controller. Due to this, the controller will control all the processes which are happening in the system. That's why our system will safely run. Simple electric motor is on here. Typical motor which are used in the electric vehicles generally. Generally, we are using synchronous motor. Present scenario, we are using synchronous motor, in which a cooling fan is there, rotor is there, shaft, stator, which are a simple structure of the electric motor by which we can generate electricity and get the electricity from the battery and supply to the fields. Now, different types of electric motors are there, which are using in electric vehicles, like permanent magnet electric motor, induction motor, switched electric motors. Okay. So these are the basic motors which are using in the electric vehicles present scenario. Most of the vehicles are using permanent magnet motors, three-phase permanent magnet motors, and Tesla and Toyota Riva 4 EV that is using induction motor, and that is switched electric motor presently not used in electric vehicles. due to some reasons, high cost we can say, or capable of high speed cost, because if we require a high speed, that is the cost of the switch electric motor is high. Due to these economic conditions, we are not using presently in electric vehicles. We are using mostly permanent magnet vehicle and induction motors. Okay, so that chart is shows the different companies which are using this type of motor: induction motor, permanent motor, and synchronous motor. So you can see here, induction motor is used by the Ford with the models is given here, and permanent magnet motors are also used by these companies in their different models, and synchronous motor is used in these models, Renault's and 2011 model. Okay. So you can easily check that this type of motor is used by which company in which model. Now the characteristics of the electric motor. So the large speed range of electric motor is no need of high gear, and high torque output at low speed, no need of lower gear, no need for lower gear, and launch vehicle at zero speed, no need of idling at low RPM, and high efficiency in the wide operating range. So you can see in this graph, torque and speed graph, you can see up to the rated speed, we get constant power, constant torque. After that, torque decreases, speed is increasing. Okay. Similarly, you can see in second graph, power and speed. The power is increased proportionally up to rated speed. After that, constant power we will get, and speed is increases. Now, the electric motor selection criteria. What are the selection criteria for electric motors for electric vehicles? There are several criteria I have discussed already. Means the dynamic analysis we have to do for loading to check the loading condition, by which we can analyze this motor we require for our electric vehicles. Okay, according to that, we are using the different types of motor or range or power, which capacity or their voltage is, which specification is required for the motor in our vehicle. Okay. So now requirements and challenges of options. What are the challenges facing in present scenario? That is cost, performance, and life interdependence. Cost means we have to decrease the cost as much as possible. We have to increase the performance of the system, and life impedance means we have to reliability. We have to increase the reliability of the system. We have sizing and integration. We have to compact the size. We have to do the compact the size by which we can install it in a minimum space. Okay. And material cost, we have to reduce the material cost, as well as we have to reduce the weight by which we can reduce the overall weight of our vehicle. Thermal management, torque, power, efficiency, we have to increase of these things, and different types of losses which are generated in present conditions, we have to reduce that. So these are some challenges. And now design option means we are using permanent magnet motors, and induction motor, SRM motors. After that, position of the magnets. What are the position of the magnet? Number of poles. How much number of poles are there? Is required according to load conditions. These are the different designing options. We can design all these things according to our requirements. We can design the motor as per our requirements. Number of poles, how much number of poles are required as to generate the demanding energy to fulfill the energy demand. So these are some designing options and challenges in there. Now option. So we can change all these things as per our requirements. We can change the design as per our requirement or change it through the energy analysis. Now, design of motor. So we can design our motor in a software first. After that, we can check it. We can check thermal analysis. We can check finite element analysis. We can check the electrical analysis in that. After that, we can manufacture it. Today, we are using different types of software for the same. So analytical design, we have model the our motor as per our requirement, as per our sizing. Okay. After that, we have analyzed it in finite element phase, means detailed study of torque, speed, efficiency map. After that, we can check the thermal analysis also, structural integrity, magnetic demagnetization, motor NVH. After that, we can check the electric connections. Which type of control optimization is required, full type analysis, we can do it on it in the software also. Okay. Now, technology. You can see here with the era 2005 to 2020 for electric two-wheeler, hybrid vehicles, and electric vehicles. Okay. So different types of motors which are using, that is brushless DC motor, brush DC motor, permanent motor, induction motor, and battery according to the capacity requirement. Means what type, which range of the speed we have required. Up to that, we are using the electric motor in different kind of vehicles, two-wheelers, hybrid electric vehicles with IC engine and electric vehicles. Okay. Now the configuration of the electric vehicle. We can see here the different configuration. That is, first is central drive, second is wheel-up drive. In central drive, we can see the motor is placed in a center, connected to the battery. After that, we are using gearbox, fifth gearbox, which are transfer the energy from motor to differential, okay, or driven shaft. So, by which it is simple layout of central driven system. Second one is wheel hub drive. In that, we are directly coupled the motor to the wheels, and motor is connected to the battery. Motor is taking the power from the battery and propel or rotate the wheels. Okay. Next is wheel hub drive drivetrains. Okay. In that, we are using different motors and also using a fixed gear ratio to drive the wheels, by which we can change the speed of the rotation speed of the wheels. Okay. Next is the next different type. Next type is we can use two motors and different conditions and two different gearbox. Fixed gearbox are using with the drive shaft, which is connected to the driving wheels, and transfer the power from battery motor through battery to motor and motor to driving wheels. Now, for in this section, central drive, pros and cons, if we see in the pros and cons, to reduce the illustration space and weight of lighting. Single speed reduction gear is more cost effective. Efficiency loss can be further reduced due to the poor gear and absence of the transmission. If we talking about the cons, then efficiency drop near boundary conditions. Electric motor can only output option for its maximum power at low speed reversely increases electric motor size and cost. If we require more power, then we require more size of electric motor. Then size is increases, also cost is increases. But in this condition, the weight and cost is reduces because we are using two motors in place of one motor. So we can reduce. So the load of the single motor is reduces. So due to this, the weight and size is decreases as compared to central drive vehicles. So overall weight and cost is reduces in this case, in this condition. But electric motor works within low efficiency region restricted by electric motor size. Because the electric motor size is less or reduces, so power capacity is less as compared to this. So the speed is lower as compared to that thing. Now the power electronics, different power electronics are using in the electric vehicles like converter, DC to AC converter, DC converter, and some rectifiers also are using in charging system. Okay, to charge the battery in current condition or running condition. Now, battery management system, like energy management system or battery management system. Energy management system is also known as battery management system, which is it is the most important component things in the electric vehicle because it is maintain all the functions in the electric vehicles. Means it is control the battery cells, temperature, charging conditions. It is measure check limit current, and all these things are controlled by this BMS system. So it is very important in case of electric vehicles. Now we can see the history of the battery because in present scenario, the battery or power pack is the most important thing, or we can say the more and more research are going in this field to make the batteries efficient. How we can make the efficient batteries, energy efficient batteries, which is store the charge in minimum time and we can get the charge for the maximum time. So these are the current research area in today's scenario. Now you can see the different types of batteries which are using in electric and hybrid electric vehicles. First of all, conventional battery, lead acid battery, all we are aware about that. And second thing, advanced batteries in which we can use lithium-ion battery, nickel molybdenum battery, and metal air battery. So these type of batteries presently we are using in our electric vehicles. So lithium-ion batteries, some different we can say factors, form factors of lithium-ion battery showing here. The lithium-ion batteries are available in the market in these types of shapes: cylindrical cell, pouch, prismatic cells. So according to our power requirement, according to capacity, we are using the batteries in our different types of batteries in the electric vehicles. Okay, some definitions are there. What is battery cell? Cell is a unit which with a positive electrode and negative electrode and an electrolyte meant to transfer chemical energy to electrical energy. It is a basic building block of a battery. Second one is battery module. Module is a group of physical and electrical connected cells. A module can be thought as a smallest repeating building block of the battery pack. Okay. Now battery pack, an array of the interconnected modules of the batteries, or we can say battery modules, that is intended the energy storage application. Okay. So these are some basic parameters, which definitions, some terminologies which are using in terms of batteries. So different battery packs are, you can see here. So different battery modules are there which are connected in series, and these all things are known as battery pack. And second arrangement is like that. So these all things are using present scenario in the electric vehicles. Now the overall pack requirement of electric vehicles. So you can see the different different vehicles need different cells type. High power cells need for high duty vehicles, high energy cells for electric vehicles, intermediate power cells needed for the plug-in hybrid electric vehicles or pulse charging electric vehicles. So by with this graph, you can see power capacity and energy capacity, which type of electric vehicles, energy required in which type of vehicles. Means if we're talking about the buses, hybrid electric vehicles, high power is required. Or we can see the buses for plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, that is intermediate power is required, as well as vans, small cars. We are using high energy and intermediate power to the electric vehicles. So different categories of the electric vehicles and different categories of electrical power. You can say the requirement of the battery. Now, types of battery materials. The basic things is that which type of material we have to use for the manufacturing of the battery. So, lead acid battery, liquid cadmium battery, lithium molybdenum battery, lithium ion battery, and lithium metal ion battery. So, these type of different materials which are using in present scenario to manufacture the batteries. So, batteries are classified based on the electrochemicals, electrochemistry. Most common lithium, lead, and nickel based. Lithium based battery output, performance, or in specific energy and performance, which is required. Now you can see the countries with mining the resources. Means in which country this type of material is available, or you can say mining is available there. So nickel, if you're talking about the nickel, then you can see in Philippines, Indonesia, and North Korean countries, Russia, Canada, Australia, and others. Means different countries. We can see the maximum nickel is in China, and 30%, up to 30% is for mining by the China, and or 70% by the other countries. Similarly, cobalt, approximately 60% is mining by the China and 40% by other countries. Copper is mining by the China, approximate 42%. Lithium, approximate 55 or 56%. So the extraction, that is the refilling. That is the refilling rate. If we're talking about the extraction rate, then the Philippines approximate 15% of nickel. So you can see here the different material is extraction by the different countries and refilling by the countries. Okay. So this graph shows the extraction of the material for the automotive batteries. Which type, these common materials we are using in present scenario, so that we are using. I am showing this particular graph here. Now, the charging basic. Now the most important thing is the charging station, because it is the basic need. If we design an electric vehicle, if we manufacture the electric vehicle, then we have to run it on a road. Okay. For the same, we have required some charging station to charge the vehicles. So we have to develop the charging infrastructure in all over the country or world. So there are different types of charging stations we can design. AC charging station or DC charging station. AC charging station under the category of we're talking about India. that is Bharat AC 001 and Type 2 AC. Okay, that is a slow charger and it is fast charger. Okay, so AC charging में this type of category are available according to the Niti Aayog and charging infrastructure norms. That is AC 001, Type 1, Type 2 and Type 3. That is depends upon the charging rate. Fast charging means how much fast charging is required. We can design it. As well as you can see DC charging, CCS, Cadmio and Bharat DC 001. That is the Cadmio is the fast charger. Okay, so it present scenario. The most of the research is going on this type of charging station. So in this charging, DC charging, we can see DC 001, CCS 1, CCS 2, and Cadmio and GVT. So these also depends upon the charging rate. Means how much it is fast to charge the vehicle in a minimum time. Okay, so these are different types of charging stations or charging infrastructure we have to develop as per our requirement. Now, the EV charging standards. What are the standards we have to follow? So different types of standards or codes are given here, which we have to follow for the safety, scalability, saving, security, and simplicity of the vehicle. These 5 basic parameters, 5S, we have to follow to design a vehicle, electric vehicle. These 5S are very most important: safety, scalability, saving, security, and simplicity. So you can see the different codes are there, is available here. For safety, we have to follow these codes: ISO, SAE, and IEC. These codes are we have to design our vehicle under these conditions. You can see easily these conditions. You can put the code on the Google. You can easily see everything about the code, which conditions are available in that code. Okay. So connectors, for what quality of the connectors we have to require, which type of plug we have to design. So these all conditions are clearly mentioned in that code. Okay, and communication system and charging topologies. So these all things we have to check at the time of charging station, develop the charging station. Now, government initiatives for develop the charging station. Multiple initiatives are by the government of India to promote the adoption of the electric vehicles under the scheme of FAME. Second, we have already discussed about that. In December 2018, Ministry of Power has released guidelines for the charging infrastructure to promote safe, reliable, accessible, and affordable charging infrastructure and ecosystem. So you can see here a simple chart, which is I have taken from the government website. That is for the charger type: fast charger or slow or moderate charger, and their connectors, charging connectors, which type of charging connectors is there, and rated voltage, it means capacity, and charging point. Okay, so these are some standards given by the government of India. Now, standard regulations. So in this first condition, that is the CMVR technical committee brought the VUV under the purview of the CMVR. That is the CMVR is the Central Motor Vehicle rules that is covered in the India, and VOV is the battery operated vehicles. Okay, so Central Motor Vehicle Act is given some rules for the battery operated vehicles. under which we have to design and we have to manufacture the electric vehicles. A subcommittee was constituted for defining type approval and the procedure of battery operated vehicles in November 1999, and comprising of members for ARAI, VRDE, ACMA, CIAM, etc. Means these are the members of this committee uh, for the approval of the battery operated vehicle. We have to take approval, we can take the approval from these uh, organizations for our electric vehicle. Okay. Automotive industry standards related to the type approval setting testing of UOVs published in September 2003. These all standards are published, and mandatory requirements for from April 2005. And it is SO 3365E dated 13 December 2004. These all standards are published by Government of India and different regulatory bodies. So we can check all the conditions and we can opt-out and design our vehicles according to that condition. Now the standards and regulations of the electric vehicle in India. Now the different standards are set by the for 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, e-rickshaw, and 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, e-rickshaw, and 4-wheelers and buses. So different standards are set. We have already discussed on that. We can check all the standards, all the parameters under which we have to design our electric vehicle. And standards for the electric vehicle, standard for hybrid electric vehicle, standard for retrofitments, what are the standards we have to fulfill for all kind of things. So retrofitments you can see in AIS 123. Okay, in use of gasoline diesel vehicles can be retrofitment with electric kit to convert the pure electric vehicle. This way, order fleet can be converted. Okay, and we can use OEMs for the electric vehicles, hybrid electric vehicles, and charging stations. Okay. So these regulations are already given by the Government of India. These all conditions we have fulfilled. Some standards are set by that. Now, CMVRS, the Central Motor Vehicle Act rules, give some standards. Under these conditions, electric vehicle is fulfill these parameters, these standards. Battery full these standard. Chargers under these standards. Hybrid vehicle under these standards. Retrofitment under these standards. So different standards are already set by the Government of India. So we have to see all the standards for manufacturing or designing our vehicle according to the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway. That is given by. Now, if we're talking about the Indian conditions, so we have to check all the conditions like weather conditions or charging stations or other parameters to run the vehicle safely. Okay, so safety is the major and most important thing to design the vehicle. So that lab is established in ARAI, in which they are checked the electric motor capacity, electric safety, crash test. All tests are we can perform there of our vehicle in different conditions. Okay, so when our vehicle is passed all these conditions, then it is get the certification and we can launch the vehicle in the market. Now, the skill development awareness is the most important thing, because we have to aware our generation about the electric vehicles, develop the skill to design the electric vehicle, to design the motor, to design the batteries, by which we can develop more and more electric vehicles and we can move towards the in that condition. Okay. So entirely new skill, battery pack assembly, manufacturing of charging infrastructure, servicing and servicing of battery and motors. If we talk about the re-skill from automotive sectors, testing and validation of vehicles, charging infrastructure, operating management, mechanical structure assembly, thermal management. This would require cooling of static device, power electronics, etc. And now, if we're talking about the new skill from the other sectors other than auto, that is high voltage handling, expertise from the safety, developing app for GPS, billing etc control, and like real-time communication, expertise from the IT softwares we have required, and other than expertise from the power electronics also. If we're talking about the skill replacement or removed from the auto sectors, no requirement of the emission expertise because if we're talking about the electric vehicle, there is no any emission is generated, harmful emission is generated. So we have no requirement of any expert for the emission. And reduce the skill requirement in IC engine. We can reduce it if we move to the electric vehicle. Petrol, gasoline stations, standards, attenders to be replaced by the charging swapping station operation. Okay, so these some skills and requirements which we have, which we can use, which we have to follow for develop the infrastructure. Now we have to move the concluding remark. So for the development of the electric vehicle, we have to fulfill different 7 parameters. Means raw material, which raw material we have to require to develop the battery, which is required to develop the vehicle body or chassis or different components like motor also. And sub components like battery subcomponents, motor subcomponents, nano battery, non-battery components, or some other components like battery body parts, means like that, assembly and OEMs. So these are some different conditions we have to follow, and after that use and life of the product we have to check, and after that EV charging infrastructure, it is most important. After that EV use and life of the electric vehicles. So we have so overall conclusion remark is that we have to aware our generation and skill them about the electric vehicles, power charging stations, and to generate the battery, to design the battery as per requirement, efficient batteries, which type of batteries are required in our, because we are faces a problem to store the energy in present scenario, to store the energy in the electric vehicle. If we require more energy, we have to increase the size of the battery. So we have to design such type of battery by using such type of material by which we can store more and more energy in a compact size. So it is the most recently research is going on. So this is from my side. We have discussed just general discussion in that the layout of the electric vehicle, which type of parts are used in the electric vehicles, and what are the requirements for the same, and what is the future goal set by the government to promote the electric vehicles in our country. So these all simple discussion we have discussed here. So now it is all over from my side.
Thank you very much, sir. Now that is the one question that which one will be the more efficient, whether the pure electric vehicle or a hybrid vehicle? That is the question from Damodar R.
Sorry, sir, please repeat again.
Yeah. Which one will be the more efficient, whether the pure electric vehicle or a hybrid vehicle? Suppose if you will compare about this pure electric vehicle or a hybrid vehicle, then which will be the more efficient?
If we're talking about the efficiency, it depends upon the our power requirements. If we can use it, means if we talking about the particularly hybrid electric vehicle or electric vehicle, so I can say it is hybrid electric vehicle more efficient at present condition, because we are using an IC engine as well as electric motor to propel the vehicle. So in concern of electric vehicle, we can get more power from hydroelectric vehicle and speed.
Thank you. There is another question from Venkat Chelam that he wanted to just need the information about the power loss occurred from charging to the power obtained. How much the percentage losses from electric charges
after charging? Approximate, that is, if we talking about from power generation to the wheel, power transfer to the wheel, it is approximate 34% loss only.
That is the one question from my side, that why still there are nothing, I mean, no more percentage of using the electric vehicle in the market.
Sir, if we're talking about particularly India, so our population is not aware about that, but we can talking about the other countries. They are using electric vehicles. They develop the charging infrastructure as well in their countries. So they are using. But if we're talking about the India particularly, so we have to skill our people and get the awareness to the people through the electric vehicles, by which we can get our goal.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So, thank you very much, sir. We are all agree with the importance of electric vehicle, as we know that the electrification is one of the most appropriate way to establish a clean and energy efficient transportation. The advantages of electric vehicle on the environment is considered as an important issue. The locomotive industry as well as power sector get benefited by the reliable technology provided by the electric vehicle. This green vehicle also helps in creating an alternative power source for household application and provide ancillary services to the grid. It also helps in integrating the intermittent resources for the vehicle charging. So now the electric vehicle are the most important things for the environment. So I am Dr. Ravindra Pathak. On the behalf of the organizing institutions and universities, I would like to thank you, our today's webinar speaker of first session, Mr. Ram Bansal, enlightening us with their knowledge. Today's lecture webinar was full of the knowledge and the interesting things about the electrical vehicles. And this is the end of the day 3, session 1 of the International Faculty Development Program on Trends in Automotive Technology, organized by Volvo University, Medicaps University, Satyabhama Institutes, and Galgotia University. So see you again in session 2 at the 1:30 p.m. Indian time. Thank you very much, sir.